So, good evening, students. Today we are studying chapter 3, laws of motion. Under the laws of motion means any object related to the earth, either in rest or in motion, if it is under motion. So there are so many factors are there which is ultimately coming to rest after some motion. So this was observed by different scientists because at that time just they are going enter into the new modern science. So that's why they have so much interest observing all the things in their surroundings. Among those, this is the one is called motion of the object. At that time, Aristotle is a famous scientist. Aristotle observed the motion of the object. Aristotle observed the motion of the object. And what he said, Aristotle observation, what he said, the natural state of earthly object is at rest. What is the natural state? Natural state of an object is at rest. Means any object is in motion ultimately comes to rest. That is his rest requires. So here, since objects are at rest, there is no need to explain. No, means the resting body not requiring any explanation. Now later, Galileo Galilei, he observed this motion of the object and he also concluded one concept regarding the motion of the earthly objects. What he stated, a body in rest remains in rest. So what is the concept? Galileo Galilei. So Galileo Galilei said what? A body in rest remains in rest. A body at rest. Remains in rest. And a body means earthly body in motion remains in motion until the external force acting on the object. Understand? So, see, as long as no external force is applied, so what the condition is here? Condition, no external force. Force is applied. If we are not applying any external force against the motion or against the rest, the body at rest remains in rest. The body in motion remains in motion. So this is the observation made by Galileo. So to support these observations, Galileo gave one activity. What is that activity? Suppose here is this rough surface. Here is a ball. A ball is rolling on the rough surface and it is traveled less distance. If the surface is smooth surface, the ball is rolled more distance. If the surface is a perfectly smooth, smooth means absolutely smooth. In that case, the body is moving indefinitely. It is moving indefinitely. So that is the observation perfectly. Indefinitely. Understand here. So when the body is a rough surface, it moves a small distance, get to rest. This comes to stop. If the body is smooth surface, it moves further. If the surface is a perfectly smooth, the body moves continuously, indefinitely. There is no stop unless until opposite force means external force is acting on the body, means uncountered by another object. Suppose there is another object is uncountered, then the body comes to stop or maybe change the direction. That is the, so this indicates a body at rest remains at rest, a body in motion remains in motion. Okay, now there is one more example is given here. Let us see the other example. This perfectly smooth surface not existing on the surface of the earth. Now there is a slope is there. Just you see the slope. And here again, A point, C. If a body is rolled down, the object is rolled down on the inclined plane from A to B, as it moves down, what happens? As it moves down, its speed increases. Its speed increases. Speed increases. Now the body is moving up on the inclined plane, up to the point where the first height reaches to the second. So understand here, as shown here, you observe that when a marble rolls down an inclined plane, slope, pick up the speed. Pick up means the speed increases. Pick up the speed due to the force of gravity. Here the gravity force acting. Gravity force acting. So when it touches the point B, what happens? Again the body moves up, slows down. Here the speed decreases. To what point, at what height is coming down? To reach that height, the body moves up. The body moves up, then it comes to stop. Speed up or slowly down. So it will continue to move in a constant velocity. Continue to move in a constant velocity. So second point here, what happens? When the slope is gradually decreasing, here slope is decreasing. What happens here? Now the object is moving down up to the point, then it is moving up. It is traveled more distance to reach the same height. To reach the same height. So here the same thing. Because of effect of the gravity force, speed increases up, and again we are moving upward direction, speed decreases up to the point where the height reaches, same height. Suppose if the object is sloping, what happens here? When the body is rolled down along the sloping down, and that body moving along the surface horizontally, so to reach the same height, not reaching immediately, so it is continuously moving along the surface. So this question arises in his mind: how far must we have to move to reach the same height if it has no slope? If it has no slope, it is horizontal. If it has no slope, it is horizontal. How far it moves? Since it has no slope to go up, obviously it should keep on moving forever. If the here is slope is there, again moving up to same height. Here slope is angle is decreased. What happens here? It is travel more distance to reach the same height. If the slope is not present, only horizontal line is there. Then how far the body is moving? Obviously, it should keep on moving. Obviously, it should keep on moving forever along the horizontal level surface with a constant velocity. So what you conclude that natural state of the object is if it is a free of external influence. If the external, which is external influence, is the gravity force. Here gravity force is acting in the direction of the motion. Here gravity force acting on opposite direction. So here the external force is acting. So external force is acting. If that external force is not present, and if the object is free of external influence, external force is a uniform motion, then the body is in a uniform motion. The body in motion remains in the same speed, in the same. What do you think that these experiments? Is it any external force required to stop? Yes. When a body is moving in uniform speed continuously, if you want to stop, you should apply the external force. You should encounter with another object. Otherwise, it is continuously moving in the same speed. Required a stop. So therefore, the uniformly moving object requires some external force to stop. From this experiment, we can say that an object will remain in a uniform motion unless a net force acting on it. So when a net force acting on it, the body continuously moving. So the object in motion will remain in uniform motion. An object in motion remain in uniform motion unless a net force acting on it. A net force acting on it. So Galileo imagined the world where there is no friction. And this all thing is applicable only when the world is present where there is no friction. Then you can imagine an object in motion remains in motion because there is no external force, there is no influence of the external force. If an object is at rest, remains at rest. Why? Because there is no influence of the external force. So that is the imagination of the Galileo Galilei. Okay, so if there were no friction, could not be able to walk on ground. So, but what about these earthly objects? On the Earth's surface, wherever go, there is certain extent frictional force is acting because the surface is not so smooth as we are imagined. So it may be some degree of smoothness. So because of that, there is some extent of frictional force is acting. Frictional force, because without friction we are not able to walk. Without friction, all these instruments are not, all machines are not working. So here the friction is also important, is also necessary, but also disadvantages are there, evils are there. If there were no friction, could not able to walk on ground. We are not able to stop a fast moving car. If there is no friction, we are not able to stop the fast moving car. It is very difficult to stop it. So built up the idea primarily developed by Aristotle and Galileo. So these are the two important things observed by Aristotle and Galileo. So now these two observations are again perceived by Sir Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton. Let us see the Isaac Newton's concept. Sir Isaac Newton built a concept based on observations of Aristotle and Galileo Galilei. So his observations are divided into three laws for easy to understand. So actually these three laws are not given by Newton's. So Newton's observations are divided into three laws for our convenience to understand. So what are these three laws here? Fundamental laws which explains the connection between the force and change in motion. So when a body is in motion and that body has some relation with the force. Okay, so there is some relation between the force and motion of the object observed by Sir Isaac Newton. Based on the observations of the Aristotle and Galileo Galilei, Sir Isaac Newton came to one concept: there is some relation between the force and motion of the object. How this force and motion of the objects are related? So to explain this concept and his observations divided into three laws. So these are called Newton's laws of motion. They are called Newton's laws of motion. So under this first law, the first law of motion can be stated as, the first law of motion is every object will remain at rest or in a motion or in a state of uniform motion. Every earthly object will remain at rest or in a state of uniform motion unless compelled to change its state, unless to compel change its state by acting some net force. To change the state, what is the state? Is a rest or motion, anyone. To change the state, if we are not applying any net force, they remain in the same state. If we are applying the net force on the object, the state of the object changes. What is state? The resting object get into motion, the moving object may get into rest or may increase the motion. So that is the change in state of the object when a net force acting on the object. Understanding? What is the first law? The first law of motion proposed by, according to this Newton's, Sir Isaac Newton's. So what is that law? Every object will remain at rest or in a state of motion, uniform, that you can say uniform motion, unless compelled to change its state, unless compelled to change its state by the action of net force. So when we are not compelled to change the state by using some net force, the object remains in the same state. If we are applying some net force on the object, what happens? The state of the object changes. Suppose the body is in rest. When you apply the net force, the body gets into motion. If the body already in motion, when you apply the net force, in the direction of motion, the body get into accelerate. If you apply the net force, opposite direction and counter, opposite direction to the direction of motion, the body comes to rest. So this is the effect, and it means if that net force is not affecting, the body state remains as it is. So Newton's first law explains what happens to the object when no net force is acting. So what is the first law explains? The first law explains that if the net force is not acting, what happens? The object remains in the same state. Remains in the same state indefinitely. If the net force is not acting, like a frictional force or like some other mechanical force, if any force, net force is not acting, the object remains the same state of rest or in uniform motion. Either remains at rest or moves in a straight line with a constant speed, that is called uniform motion. So let us see. One activity is there. Here there is one bottle is present here. One bottle is present, glass bottle or plastic bottle. Just put over the mouth, there is a, you take the cardboard, thick cardboard, cut this cardboard, lay one paper disc. Just put this paper disc over the mouth in vertical position like this. Just on this paper, make it balance one pen cap. This is the pen cap. Understand here is this is a paper disc, a thick paper disc, pen cap and body. So this is called paper hoop, and this you can write paper hoop. Just you put this thick paper in vertical position, a disc shaped vertical position. That is called paper hoop. Just above paper hoop there is a pen cap. This is the body. So when you hold this paper hoop, suddenly remove it. What happens? Just while we apply the force, let the force to change the state of the paper hoop. The paper hoop, which is already at rest, suddenly get into motion because net force acting on the paper hoop. At that instant, the pen cap is not in motion, still it is at rest. So because of that, when once you apply the net force on the paper hook, that paper hook comes out, then the cap just fall into the bottle, So when, see, just observe this one. This is the bottle. So this is the pen cap. So the pen cap fall into this one when you remove the paper. When you move this paper outside, suddenly the pen cap fall into the, because what the reason is, the net force acting on the paper hook but not on the cap. When we apply the net force on the paper hook, the paper hook which is already at rest suddenly get into motion. So where at the instant where the paper hook get into motion, still the cap remains in the at rest. So therefore, when the paper hook comes out, the resting state pen cap fall into the bottle. That means as long as the net force is not acting on an object, the state of the object is not changing, it remains as its state. Okay. Right. Now, there is one small information. Galileo is a famous scientist. Galileo was also a remarkable craftsman. He developed a series of telescopes. So different size telescopes he made, and he observed the astronomical space objects telescope available during the days. Around, he designed the first pendulum clock. So second one is not only the telescope, he also designed the pendulum clock in his book, Starry Messenger. He wrote the book is called Starry Messenger on his astronomical discoveries. So what is saying? Galileo claimed to have seen mountains on the moon. So there are some mountains on the moon. That is the when 1640. In 1640 he claimed that there are mountains on the surface of the moon. The Milky Way made up of tiny stars. So many stars are there, and 4 small bodies orbiting Jupiter. So around the Jupiter, 4 small objects are revolving. So that is the information given in his book, Starry Messenger. So discourse of floating bodies, letters on the sunspots. He disclosed his observations of sunspots. So he also observed the sun, and he observed that there are some small black spots are there on the sun surface. So using his own telescope and through his own observations on Saturn, Venus, he argued that all the planets must orbit around the sun but not around the earth. At that time, people thought that the whole universal celestial bodies are revolving around the earth. They thought that because earth is very big and the others are very small comparatively. But at first time, Galileo Galilei observations, he stated that all planets, including earth, are revolving, they are moving around the sun in an orbit and not around the earth. That is the converse. Okay, now let us see this one. Activity number 2, observe the motion of the coins hit by the striker. So let us see another activity. Suppose here is a carom board is there. Carom board is present. Here the pile of coins are here. These are the coins. So when you are using a striker, this is the striker. To strike the bottom coin, the strike. So make a stack of carom coins. This is the stack of coins, carom coins on the carom board. When you give a sharp hit at the bottom of the stack, when you give the sharp hit at the bottom of the stack with a striker, what happens? The bottom coin will be removed, means the bottom coin get into motion. The bottom coin get into motion. The striker may sometimes occupies the bottom surface, removed from the stack, and the others in the stack will slide down or may remain as it is. Sometimes they remain as it is, or the stack may slide down, means it fall down. So here is the condition here. Here there is a stack of carom coins are present. Now by using the striker, a sharp hit is given to the bottom coin. The bottom coin is removed, is replaced, removed. Then the other coins in the stack may fall down or may remain as it is if the bottom coin replaced by the striker sometimes. So what are your observations from the above activity? We observe that the net force is applied to the bottom coin by using the striker. So the striker applies some net force on the bottom coin. So the bottom coin which is at rest get into motion. So the other coins, the net force not acting on the other coins, so the other coins are not moving far away. They are not moving far away. Why does the pen cap fall down inside bottle? Because the net force is acting on the paper hook. The net force acting paper hook, but not on the cap in that instant. Therefore, paper hook get into motion, comes out from the bottle. So the pen cap fall into the bottle due to gravity force. So here the pen cap fall into the bottle because of gravity force, not the applied net force. Next, why does the stack of coins, carom coins, fall down vertically? So they fall down vertically because of the gravity force. But whereas the net force applied by the striker to the bottom coin makes the bottom coin get into motion. But at the same time, the other coins in the stack fall down because of the gravity force. To understand this, we have to discuss some more examples here. And a bus which is at rest begins to move suddenly. So we are sitting in a bus, the bus is at rest, so the bus suddenly started get into motion. What happens? The persons, the persons suddenly they are falling back. So suddenly when the bus moves suddenly, what happens? We are falling back. Why? Because at that instant, the bus is moving. Along with the motion of the bus, our feet is also moving. But our remaining body is not in motion. Still it is in rest. Therefore, we are falling in back. Similarly, when you are traveling in a bus, suddenly stopped the bus. What happens when the driver, while the bus is moving a uniform speed, the driver suddenly stopped by using brakes. What happens? At that instant, the bus get into rest. At the same time, our feet also get into rest. Still our body in motion. Therefore, we are falling in forward direction. So these changes can be described only with the word inertia. Inertia means, here generally what is the word is inertia means, so there is a scientific language, technical language we can use. Inertia means not accepting the change. Means a body in a state of rest tries to remain in the same. Even the net force acting, still the body tries to remain in the same state. That is rest. If your body is in uniform motion, even if you apply the net force in opposite direction, the body tries to remain in the motion but not ready to get into stop. So that property is called inertia. That property is called inertia means, the language means not accepting the change in the state of the object. Not accepting the change in state of its change in its state. Things tend to keep doing this. They are already doing. So here these objects are not accepting the change in their state. So when the body is, in the first case, a bus accelerated suddenly. What happens? So, and moved forward. So when the bus is suddenly accelerated, the bus moved forward. But the body of the person tends in remain in the state of rest. Still the body means the passenger's body still tries to remain in the state of rest. So that is nothing but because of inertia, our body fall in backward direction, which resulted backward motion. Our body is backward moving. Why? Because when the bus suddenly get into motion, so our body is still in inertia. So our body tries to remain in the state of rest. Therefore, we are moving backward direction. In the second case, so when you are traveling in a bus, your body is also in a motion, with a uniform motion, with a speed equal to that of the bus. When the bus suddenly stopped by applying the brakes, but because of inertia, our body tries to remain in the motion, not in rest. The body not ready to get into rest along with the bus, but still our body tries to remain in the uniform motion because of that inertia. Because of that proper inertia, we are falling in forward action. So Newton's first law of motion is also called law of inertia. First law is called law of inertia because every body tries to remain in its state. Every body tries to remain in its state even when net force acting on it. So with our day-to-day experiences, we know that we must exert some force on an object to keep it moving. We must exert some force, we must apply some net force to move the body, to get the body into motion. As far as object is concerned, the force applied by us is just one of the several forces acting on it. So we are applying force, the external force. Still there are some forces acting, like a gravity force acting, normal force acting, frictional force, like this. Some other forces are also acting at that instant. The other force might be frictional force, air resistant, or gravity force. Thus it is clear that it is a net force which determines the change in motion. So what we are applying the external force is not only that one, there are some other forces are acting. Therefore, when you take the vector sum of all these forces is called net force. If that net force is acting, then the object get into motion. If the net force is not present, even though all forces are acting, if the net force is zero, net force not acting, the body remains in the same state. So that's why it is called law of inertia. Football placed at rest on the ground, the law of inertia tells us that the football will remain in the same state unless something moves it. So when a football keeps in the ground, so in rest, so it remains in the rest until somebody come and kick it. So therefore, so the body remains at rest. The ball remains at rest until a force slows it down or stops. If the ball went high, what happened when the ball went high? The ball is acted by some net force, that is due to the gravity force. Therefore, again the body, the upward moving object comes to rest, again return back. So if the ball rolls on the ground, the force of friction, when the ball is rolling on the ground, after some distance, the ball comes to rest because the ground surface applying some force on the motion of on the moving the surface of the moving ball, so that the ball comes to rest. So that is the net force. So here the rolling ball comes to rest because of the net force acting on it in opposite direction. So when the ball is moving upward direction, it comes to rest because of the gravity force the net force due to gravity acting in downward direction. So like that, when a net force is acting, then only the body changes its state, otherwise the body remains in the same state. If the net force is zero, what happens?